Boba Network. So, Boba Network is obviously a scaling solution, and they're looking at basically a hybrid compute model. Now, in terms of what they've been trying to build, I actually really like what they've been trying to build. But one thing we cannot ignore is the price action is miserable. Since launch, the chart looks brutal. So we've got to really take a look at what they've been building, where their ecosystem's at, and see if we can infer what Boba's going to hit in terms of price this year. Before I get into it though, guys, if you're new here and you don't know what the spreadsheet is, it shows the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. Now, in the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these cryptos. They were all coins that I expected were going to make me very, very good money. If you'd have gotten in on these coins when I released the videos about them, these are the prices you'd have gotten in on. If you'd popped $100 into the coins when I released the videos, these are what your profits would have been, because you'd been able to sell at these prices after around 15, 16 months. And your total profit in under a year and a half would have been over 123 grand. Now, obviously, you don't have a year and a half to sort your portfolios out. We're in a bull cycle right now. If you're not happy or confident in the cryptos you own, it is time to get that sorted. Do something about it. If you go on to copymycrypto.com, that's the site I run where I share my portfolio with my members. Whenever I'm ready to buy or sell any coin, I will tell my members the coin that I'm going to buy or sell, the price I'm going to do it at, so my members can copy along exactly, so they'll make the same profit as me, except they don't have any work to do at all. And on the site, you can see the profits my members have made. You can see the successes that we have had. You can read their testimonials. Everything on the site is public record. And if you have to reading through it and verifying, you like what you see, guys, try out the service before these markets start ripping, because make no mistake about it, they're going to rip soon. Now, Boba. So let's, looking at that chart, it's a miserable looking chart. Now, obviously, it launched right at the end of the bull cycle, right at the end. So, didn't really have a bull cycle in effect. Now, Boba was a layer 2 scaling solution. The aim is to unlock the potential of roll-up tech and enable more flexible blockchain communication. The protocol is fully compatible with Ethereum virtual machine-based tools. It's already deployed multi-chain support for Avalanche, BNB, Moonbeam, and Phantom. It supports lightning-fast transactions and fees anywhere from 40 to 100 times less than their respective layer 1s. Boba is powered by hybrid compute tech that brings the power of Web 2 on-chain with smart contracts that allow developers to leverage off-chain compute and real-world data to deliver the best experiences for the dApps that they've got. Now, Boba itself is obviously a governance token, which will be used for community initiatives. Each Boba holder will get one vote for every token that they stake on the Boba network. Token holders can submit proposals, etc., etc. Now, one thing I will say, governance in crypto at the moment is a mess. I've actually been part of multiple discussions on this, and I've went to talks about governance, and there's been some interesting proposals, but I do think there is a level of a lot of crypto projects are adding complexity when there isn't. Where there doesn't need to be complexity. People are talking about quadratic voting and all these different sort of methodologies to sort of make the voting more fair. I think you can actually do it quite simply with just a simple principle of if you one wallet, one vote, if you've got the token in the wallet, and if that wallet interacts with another wallet that has Boba in, then both are discounted from the voting. You can employ a simple sort of approach, and that could be based with a smart contract as well that tracks the interactions between wallets. It's kind of a weird thing. I think that's a possible solution, but yeah, I don't know why I've gone on this tangent anyway. But yeah, governance is kind of a mess. I kind of try to stay away from talking about governance, because I think every crypto project at the moment is pretty susceptible to manipulation of the voting. Anyway, random tangent, sorry. So Boba is a layer 2 solution built on ETH. And it aims to enhance the blockchain scalability and efficiency. It focuses on reducing gas fees and increasing transaction throughput without compromising the security features of Ethereum. Now, they're leveraging hybrid compute architecture, which basically facilitates the execution of algorithms off-chain, which can then be integrated back into on-chain smart contracts. Now, potentially, Boba can do quite well this year, especially off the back of sort of more interesting posts that we've seen, particularly, Vitalik Buterin as of late has been talking with great depth about the fact that, the long-term vision of Ethereum is to try and get to scale to like 100,000 transactions per second. And that would be done via layer 2 technologies. Now, what would be interesting is, is the vision that they're going to utilize technologies that or a layer 2 that is already up and running? Are they going to try and utilize some of the features of multiple different layer 2s that they've seen and build their own? It's a very interesting one, because Boba, in theory, has a very, very, very good technology and it is very fast, and it is quite active. Not in terms of necessarily activity on the network, via, if we'll check out the Explorer data. I more meant in terms of dApps. Like, we are starting to see a decent amount of dApps that are being added into the Boba network. They're also on Coinbase, by the way. They're on Binance, so there is potential in that regard. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But as you can see, they're integrated with tons of different oracles, because obviously a big part of Boba is the interaction with algorithms off-chain. So you need a number of different Oracle infrastructures in place, and API 3 is a great example of that. Obviously, they communicate with bridges as well. I wouldn't say this is like the most robust ecosystem or the strongest ecosystem, but it is. They have developed pretty well over the last few years. Like, you can't actually knock it. Ecosystem grants wise as well, they have plenty of grants that they can offer. Now, obviously, it's not the same level of money as some of the other projects out there, but you wouldn't expect it, because obviously it's based upon what reserves they have and the market caps that they have. So there is going to be a limit in that regard. If we go on to, let's have a look. There's our Explorer, Boba scan. That's what we want. So we'll have a look at the activity on Boba at the moment. So as you can see, in terms of transactions, 50 million transactions across their time is pretty good. I mean, to be honest, look, man, like 50,000 transactions per day on Boba is pretty frigging good. Like, that's not bad at all. On that average, they're doing 1.5 mil transactions per month. Again, I'm not saying it's like outstanding, but Boba's probably underpriced based on current activity. That isn't bad at all. And again, with the overall, with the grants that are in place, with the dApp ecosystem that isn't bad at all, I do think this is probably quite undervalued. The problem is like, again, when you look at Boba, that is the most grim long-term chart. It's reminiscent of the sort of Zcash. Now, the potential here is not bad, because again, I do think, especially with Vitalik Buterin sort of posting about the importance of sort of the long-term future of Ethereum in terms of scalability and layer 2s, I think whenever he posts about such things, we're probably going to see a nice little pump for layer 2s. And if Boba was one of the layer 2 solutions with their hybrid compute tech that he was interested in utilizing, Boba would have an enormous pump off of that. It's also not on Binance, so there is potential here in the sense of if it landed on Binance, it would experience a 4 or 5x bounce pretty damn fast. The question is, of course, going to be, will it get onto Binance? Now, volume-wise, it's pretty weak. Yeah, million in terms of volume is not what you'd want to see. Now, I'm recording this on a Sunday. But we know that and we know weekend volume is usually less, but it's not really done any sort of outstanding volume other than the kind of pumps that it had in March. Although again, market cap is 32 mil, so 1.27 million is not terrible. But Binance and exchanges make their money from trading volume. So, one of the ways they make their money. But if they're going to list a coin, they want to know that it's going to be traded heavily, because that's how they're going to make their cash. So at the moment, it looks unlikely that Boba's necessarily going to be listed, but there is always that potential. And again, if Vitalik in the past has shouted out projects as that he likes, that have done things on Ethereum, he did it in 2021 with Loopring, and Loopring experienced this enormous explosion in price off the back of a Vitalik shout out. So if he did something like that for Boba, we could see this have a huge pump. And that would probably cause, that would certainly cause surge in volume. And then Binance may be interested in listing. There is a potential for a snowball effect for Boba, where it could reach highs of maybe $4 off of that, because it's highly improbable it's going to reach its previous all-time high. I think it's unlikely it's going to reach $4, by the way. But the circumstance where it could is if you had a Vitalik Buterin post where he references Boba, and that follows a Binance listing. Those two things hand in hand, it's a 5x to $1, and then a Binance listing, it's a 4x to get to $4. Yes, it's over a 20x right now, but it's very, very possible with that kind of snowball effect. If those things don't happen, I think Boba probably is going to struggle at around the $1 mark at this point in time. But again, one thing you have got to acknowledge: very low market cap and pretty damn good usage in terms of the network. 50,000 transactions a day is no joke. That's not bad at all for a coin with a market cap of 32 mil. So it does look like people are sleeping on Boba a tad at the moment. The question is obviously going to come back to price action. Can price recover? I don't think no all-time high is going to happen, but there is potential for this to do okay. It's just, again, it needs that snowball effect. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you actually surprised or impressed by the actual transactions that they're getting through on a daily basis? Because that to me is quite impressive from a 30 mil market cap layer 2. That's beating some of the more prominent layer 2s that have much bigger market caps. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. And guys, look, we're in a bull cycle right now, and if you're not happy or confident in the cryptos you own, you got to do something about it as soon as possible. If you get onto copymycrypto.com, just have a look at the site. That's the site I run where I share my portfolio with my members. Whenever I'm ready to buy or sell any crypto, I tell my members the crypto that I'm going to buy or sell, the price I'm going to do it at, so my members can copy along exactly, so they'll make the same profit as me, but they don't have any work to do. On the site, you can see what my members have made. You can read their testimonials. You can verify everything that you read and that you see. And if you like what you see, guys, try out the service before these markets rip, because they will rip very, very soon. And if you're holding the wrong coins, you're just not going to make any money this bull cycle. And that is it from me, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.